I knew from pretty early on in our marriage that Julie was not getting to sleep as easy as I was. I would tell her she's flipping like a fish and just was really agitated, and it was hard for her to get to sleep. I was encouraging her to get the study because I knew she wasn't getting the right kind of sleep. She was always waking up fatigued and not much energy at the end of the day, so I knew she needed some help.
I got a sleep study done because I was unable to go back to sleep, and I would be awake at 3 and then 5 and those periods in the morning. And so I really realized I was insomnia to some degree, but I didn't really know how much that affected me. I think I had these sleep problems always. I just didn't realize it because that was normal to how I was sleeping. I asked my doctor, was it regular that I should be having these problems, waking up and not being able to go back to sleep? And also, I was finding myself being really fatigued at the end of a work day. And I had always felt some fatigue, but I work on my feet all the time. He said, let's think about a few of these issues and let's really, he went through a checklist, and I happened to, everything he asked me on the checklist, I would say yes, yes. And then he said, I think we need to do a sleep study. When I had the study done, I came in approximately 9 to 10 o'clock in the evening, which I thought that was kind of unusual. I'm doing a sleep study. How am I going to fall asleep? Because I don't fall asleep easily. And so I came in, and the technicians and the nurses on staff were more than helpful, explaining every event that was going to happen. So they basically had electrodes all over in different areas of my body. They were closely monitoring how I was breathing, my heart rate, all those important things to see how well you sleep. They were able to put me at ease and do all the medical testing that they needed to do. And then I fell asleep. But I didn't have any idea how I slept until, I had the feedback session.
We came for the results, and it was a very interesting video. We looked at Julie in her sleep, and it was amazing the amount of movement that she had. And it was very obvious that she was not getting rest. She was not getting any deep sleep, and she was constantly moving. Either her legs or her arms or her whole body was contorting, and I just realized, she's going to get some help that she needs.
When we saw the sleep study, it was unbelievable how much I moved and was not sleeping. Because not only was I seeing myself sleep, I was also seeing the data from the electrodes showing whether I was, in real sleep or just what I thought was sleep was not real sleep. The actual diagnosis is, yes, I am an insomniac, which that was, pretty easily diagnosable, yourself, but that I did have restless leg syndrome. And, I had heard that term before, I had seen it, but I really did not know much about it at all. Your limbs would move, and you would, like your knees would move, and your feet are moving up and down like you're running, basically, in your sleep. My treatment was only medication, and that solved every issue, and I was closely monitored, and that really made me feel the most comfortable, that someone was monitoring and not putting on just some typical high dose of something to knock me out, but really wanting to know the healthy range in which, made me sleep.
Since Julie's gone on the medication, she's much more rested in the morning. She actually says, I feel like I've had a good night's sleep. She's very energetic. In the evening, she's not fading by 7, 8 o'clock. She's able to stay up and enjoy life with the family and entertain guests.
I'm actually well rested when I wake up in the morning, and did not realize how little sleep I was functioning on, that I was basically sleep deprived. I have more energy. I'm able to, not be exhausted at the end of a work day, and then, have family time and be engaged and not just be totally, tired and not able to do all the, things with your family that you want to do. I would say if you have the question, you should at least come in and talk to the doctor, because he was able to even just diagnose me, in the physician's room, but he wouldn't give me that diagnosis without the sleep study, which I think is very valuable because then you don't, you see what's going on and how you are sleeping, not just someone telling you how you're sleeping. I would recommend someone have a sleep study. If you have a question about how you're sleeping, I think it's very important that you are able to talk to your doctor and they are able to, give you a solution.
Our life is better for coming to the sleep center and her being evaluated and getting the kind of help that she needs. She's just much more rested, much happier and joyful, and kind of the girl that I married 22 years ago.